You know what nobody ever warns you about getting older? The loneliness. It doesn't come from being alone. It comes from sitting in a room full of people and realizing, too late, that none of them were ever really with you. I watched that happen to my friend Evelyn, 74 years old. Sharp woman. Good woman. She was sitting right there in her own living room, quiet as a stone, while four people she'd trusted for over a decade took apart a woman who wasn't there to defend herself. And there was this crystal glass of cheap Merlot somebody had left sitting right on her good white lace tablecloth, her mother's, brought over from Ireland, already leaving this dark purple ring, soaking in. Permanent. Evelyn noticed it. Didn't move, didn't say a word. And that's when I knew she was seeing a lot more than just a stain on the cloth. These women had known each other for, 12 years? Maybe longer. They called themselves the Hillside Book Club. Sounds lovely, doesn't it? Wine and literature and good conversation between women of a certain age who had earned a little peace. That what it was supposed to be. That's what Evelyn believed it was for a long, long time. She had pressed that tablecloth herself the night before. She told me so. Said she always did, always got out the iron the evening before a gathering. Her mother had brought it over from Ireland, wrapped in brown paper and twine, and Evelyn had kept it folded careful in a cedar chest ever since. So I knew exactly what that ring on the linen meant. I couldn't stop looking at it. Now these women, they weren't cruel in the way you'd recognize cruelty. They weren't shouting. They were laughing. That's what gets you, the laughter. One of them, Patricia, set down her glass and said something like, "Well, you know how she is." And just like that, it opened up. Like a drain. These four educated, church-going women with reading glasses on their noses and sensible shoes were tearing into this absent woman, Carol, I think her name was, like she owed them something. Her marriage, her choices, her weight, I believe, at one point. I may not have heard that part right. But I think I did. And Evelyn just sat there, hands folded, completely still. I watched her face, and I want to tell you something. There is a particular kind of pain that doesn't look like anything from the outside. It doesn't come with tears. It's quieter than that. It's the kind a person wears when they've had too much practice hiding it. You recognize it when you're old enough. When you've worn that same mask yourself more times than you'd care to admit. Evelyn's jaw was set just a little too firm. Her smile, when she managed one, arrived about half a second too late. She was realizing something. Right there in the middle of her own home, surrounded by women she'd called her closest friends for over a decade. Something was cracking open inside her, and she was working very hard to keep the pieces from showing on her face. I didn't say anything. You don't. That's not your place in a moment like that. You sit there with them and you let them arrive at it on their own terms, in their own time. After they left, after the bottles were mostly empty, and someone had tossed a paper napkin over that purple ring on the lace like that was somehow gonna fix it, Evelyn walked me to the door. and she let out this sigh. Long, deep, the kind of exhale that carries years of small disappointments packed inside it, one on top of another. She said, "This whole group is toxic." Said it quietly, like she was tasting the word out loud for the very first time. Then she straightened up and, she actually pulled her spine straight. Right there in the doorway, and she said, "I'm washing my hands of them." I believed her, and I thought, good. It's about time, Evelyn. It really is about time. Shh. Look, here's what I know. And here's what you know too, if you've lived long enough to be sitting where you are right now. Not every circle deserves to be kept. Some of them aren't communities. They're just performances. People playing at friendship while quietly keeping score on the side. And if you have been walking into that same room for years, year after year, wondering why you always leave, feeling smaller and emptier than when you arrived, and calling it water under the bridge every single time, well, that, my friend, is a tough pill to swallow. But sometimes the most honest and decent thing you can do for what remains of your life is to simply stop going back. Marcus Aurelius. And he wrote something that I've come back to more times than I can count. He said that you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. And that right there is where most of us go wrong for the better part of our lives. We spend decades trying to control the room, trying to fix the people in it, trying to earn our place at tables that were never quite right for us to begin with. The Stoics called it the dichotomy of control. What is mine to manage, and what simply is not. And the hard truth, the truth Evelyn arrived at, standing in that doorway, is that other people's cruelty, other people's envy, other people's quiet need to tear someone down just to feel a little taller, none of that was ever in her hands, not one bit of it. But here's where people get it wrong. They hear "let it go," and they think it means you were a fool for staying so long. It doesn't mean that. Evelyn gave those women 12 years of her good faith. 12 years of pressed tablecloths and poured wine and genuine, open-hearted conversation. That isn't weakness. That is generosity. And there comes a point, God willing, you reach it before it costs you everything. There comes a point where generosity without discernment is just slow erosion of yourself, of the good that's still left in you. The Romans had another idea, amor fati, love of fate, not merely tolerating what happens to you, but embracing it. The stain on the tablecloth, the long sigh at the door, the quiet, devastating clarity of an ordinary Tuesday afternoon, when you finally see a friendship for exactly what it is and always was. That moment wasn't a loss for Evelyn. That moment was a gift. A hard one, yes, but a gift, because what she walked away from was a performance. A loud, exhausting play full of envy dressed up as intimacy and gossip dressed up as concern, and women who needed an audience far more than they ever needed a friend. And what she walked toward, even if she doesn't fully know it yet, is something rarer and quieter and worth far more: the deep, unhurried comfort of her own company. I want you to sit with that thought for a moment. It is a far better thing to be a silent reader in the peace of your own solitude than a forced actor in somebody else's loud and ugly play. You owe no one your presence at a table that diminishes you. Not at 74. Not ever. Solitude is not a failure. It is the highest reward that a truly mature person deserves to enjoy. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a counselor. I'm not a doctor or a life coach or any kind of professional. What I share here are stories and perspectives, and nothing more, nothing less. They are not a substitute for real, qualified advice in your life. Please remember that. But if something I said today landed somewhere true inside you, if there's a table you've been sitting at out of habit or guilt, or simply because no one ever told you that you were allowed to leave, then I want to hear from you. Tell me one thing you kept for yourself today. Just one. Leave it down below.